This is Richard back at you. We're back on our little 2006 Colorado pickup with a little 2.8 in it. Do you remember Trent did a video on the crankshaft pilot being wrong and all types of stuff like that. The crankshaft had a standard pilot bearing in it. We had all kinds of people talking, and it had a standard crankshaft. It had an automatic crankshaft. It had this, it had that, it had this. Well, let me tell you, we found out what it had. This thing actually has an auto adapter, they call it. If you look here in the paperwork, here's the standard flywheel, here's the pilot bearing. If you look at the automatic flywheel, here's the auto adapt. That's all it's called. It's called an auto adapt. They didn't give me a part number or nothing like that. I got it ordered to be here Saturday. It looks like to me it's an extension out of the crankshaft, like a pilot bearing, but for a pilot for the hub on the torque converter. So there you go. Y'all guys argue all you want to. Proof. So this thing did coming in leaking out of the front. We didn't drive it or anything like that because we didn't want to do any extra damage to it or anything like that. So let's get this thing out. Hopefully. Now this is not your normal 4L60E torque converter. It's got a little bit of a high stall in it. Got a little pilot on the back. We got the adapter coming in that adapts this piece to the crankshaft. That piece was physically missing. So I'm sure
the hub. It looks messed up, I think. Sorry, wasn't trying to cut you off.
No, the hub looks good.
Is it?
Yeah, it just got some stain.
Okay.
Probably been wobbling. You see some wear right here. Stuff on the hub pretty good. So this thing, without that lining up in the crankshaft like that, that'll converter just moving around a lot. So here we got a really odd looking shaft. This is going to be the first one you guys have probably seen of this. Not your normal 4L60E stuff here, guys. Now, I want to specify something really quick. When we took the pan off this thing, it smelled like additive like crazy. I mean, it'd knock you down. So when I started taking the tranny apart, I couldn't get the servo out of the side of the case. I mean, it was rusted in so bad. This is a snap ring. I beat on it for 20 minutes with oil and all kinds of lubricant to try to get this snap ring out. Then I had to work on getting this thing out. Well, this thing was jammed up in there so tight that when I got it out, the seals physically just jumped off of the piston of the cover right here. Look at that. See how big it is? You'll actually never get that back in. That's what additive does. It physically locks it down in there. Put a new seal on it. Nice and snug.
Wow.
See? But that's what additive does. It locked it in the groove. I couldn't get out. It took me 20 minutes to get that thing out. But now, since we just pulled this torque converter out, I want to show you the lockup seal now, what it looks like, and I ain't even touched it. Now, if you come over and look, it's already jumped plumb off the shaft. Look at this. Look at that. Look how much bigger.
Oh, wow.
It's just getting bigger by the minute every time I
wow.
touch it. Look at that. There you go. Now let me go in here. I got my new kit out. Here's your new seal. Nice and tight. So, but this is where this is an oddball shaft, oddball pump. Everything about this thing in the Colorado is different. So, but we're not going to treat it any different. We're still going to put our Z-Pack, our wide bands. We're going to do everything to this thing like we do all of our normal vehicles. So, I got my Milwaukee out. I'm falling more and more in love with this thing. So I just don't have to grab my air hose and tote it around. I can walk from here to there in 5 seconds. Makes it a lot easier.
Now you know why I love my
Well, Trent's been trying to get me to switch over to electric, but I've just been an air fan. I mean, these things really work. I mean, do anything you want, but
You gotta use them sometimes.
you do got to use them sometimes, and I'm gonna use that. I haven't even had to charge it any. It's been working so good. I've just been using it. There we go. Already got the servo out. Didn't do any damage or nothing, but this thing was really rusted in. Fittings are all rusted. Trent said the frame on the truck is really rusted up too, so it's,
Oh yeah, it is.
there's no telling where this thing come from. Really nasty. Get this old bell housing off. I'm gonna go get me a 1/2-inch drive Milwaukee and put it to the test here. Of course, this is one custom bell housing.
Now when you start
Totally different with that little motor, but you know they didn't change the configuration here any at all. You can still bolt the 4L60E to this. You know, if you think about it, if you could take and put your standard LS bell housing on this tranny, put this torque converter in here, mount it to your motor, you might have to make you some adapters or something, but now you got a high stall converter and a racing converter. See what I'm saying? You can adapt all this stuff anyway. Kind of like the Corvette bell housing, you know, and stuff too. You know, you can make a rear-wheel drive out of a dune buggy or something if you wanted to.
Right.
So.
Good idea.
Yes, sir.
I wish we had money to play like that. We'd do some cool things.
Yeah.
Maybe one day.
Yeah. The Dirty Bird keeps us pretty busy.
Yeah. She's her own project.
Yeah.
Upgrades. A lot of upgrades this year.
Appreciate all the letters you guys are sending in. We are going to start trying to read a few. We're just trying to get caught up from the flood of everything taking place and how everything's turning out. We're really excited, really happy. We're enjoying what we're doing. We're enjoying showing you all how it works, what tranny life is all about. And all these seals are just runt. What? I'm gonna pop this
go for it.
PWM seal tonight. If I can get it out, I can't hardly turn it.
Look at
There, it already popped off.
Jumping right off.
Look at that.
Look at
You don't even have to. That was almost just.
Oh my god. And you're gonna have to change.
See, look how big that
Holy.
seal is already. So, but when we take this apart, it's gonna be fun all the way through.
It is gonna be fun.
Yeah, this thing's really messed up. That's why I say additive is good. No, don't get me wrong. But if I use it or something, we'll use about a half a bottle. Run it for a while, then go service your transmission. Let's get it out of there, because that it just don't know when to quit swelling.
Okay.
And this stuff has really been in here a long time because it's getting outer seals. It's getting everything. And it's still the same way. Not as bad, but look at it growing.
Gummy.
So the more I play with it, the bigger it gets. Okay, so I think everything's going to be that way. Get the 1-2 accumulator off there. Your plastic piston. See, just kind of take this part the way I normally go instead of bouncing around. Get your park detent spring off there. Now it is a little different with the Milwaukee gun because I have to keep the trigger on to spin the bolt all the way out. With the air, just bang, it blows it out. But it is a little different, getting used to. But I do like it a lot. I'm really getting used to it. It's just nice not having the, like I said, the hose hanging off the end of it here. You can just draw it down. And I'm going to put it in oil. I'm going to put it in everything you can imagine. I'm going to put it in, so we're going to put it to its test. I'm going to clean it and solve it. I'm going to do everything. Now you look here, we've already got a blown seal here in our pillow switch. Look at that. These are all judd. Look at this here. It just ate them up.
Oh man.
Look at that. They are just
Look at them. They're all just starting to
pop
fall
out.
apart.
Yeah.
What? You should see this on the camera. That's
Right.
insane.
Yeah, this thing just additive. There you
Wow.
go, guys. Like I said, it does work to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But what's good about additive? It doesn't stick the valve body gaskets to the valve body. Yay, like water does. I had my grandbaby over here yesterday scraping our last tranny that we just did in our video. The gasket was just totally stuck to the valve body, and water's what causes that. She stood over there for about an hour and scraped all the valve body off for me and stuff.
I had to finish it. She got tired.
Yeah, Trent finished it for me. But the valve hasn't been blocked or anything like that. Now, being on this little cart truck here, we might not block that valve. We might go drive it, see how it feels first. If we have a good lockup percentage and stuff like that, we'll leave it alone. Because this little thing might not lock that the chug of the converter locking up so soon and stuff, since the motor just don't have a whole lot of power. It's a really small motor. So, but all of our solenoids, you get in here, seals on our solenoids and stuff are probably just going to jump off. I can't get them out, so I know they're going to jump off. Yeah, there it goes. See?
That's insane.
Yeah, see? So all of them are going to be that way. Get that back in there. But, like I say, no water. Anything in this unit, gaskets just come right off the plate. Like I said, if they don't come off, they got water in them, period. Because these gaskets, even the aftermarket gaskets, come off the plate. Unless you have a late model, then the gasket physically is glued to the plate. So, we do have a round hole, square hole. And just remember, CA means case gasket. And then the VB, valve body.
Oh, slow down. There we go.
Don't get them mixed up. So we have guys doing that, calling this, and just a small thing that causes a big problem.
And that additive really opened up.
I'm telling you, it's strong, huh?
I can smell it bad.
At least we got our crankshaft situation figured out.
Yeah, that's no joke.
So we can get that back straightened out for the guy. So we couldn't have put it back in until we did. But I know you guys wanted to know too, because look at that. I think jump plumb off there.
Right off there.
Look at that. And this seals get so big, it just freezes the piston in the bore. The accumulator don't even work anymore. So
cool.
Yes. I might glow in the dark after this one.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Maybe you should have put gloves on for this one.
Yeah, this I probably should have.
And for the reason why we don't wear gloves, it is really hard to work in gloves. If anyone worked in fluid trying to build stuff, it's almost impossible. You'll drop something. I mean, you almost hurt yourself working with gloves, correct?
Yeah. There's a lot of viewers out there know you got to be able to feel stuff. And see, there's another one. Look at that thing just jump right off there. Can't wait to get this broke in a little bit. Get that ring from being so stiff, because I can get the sockets off of it. But man, this thing works good. I really enjoy it. Thank you, whoever sent it to us. We appreciate you guys.
Still anonymous.
Making our life easier for sure.
We appreciate it.
I actually got a core out there just like this and tore down a couple of them, so I got parts for these trannies back there if we need any hard parts. They're not going to change anything on the inside of this unit, whether it's a 4-cylinder, 8-cylinder, it doesn't matter. GM didn't change anything. So
Bet that didn't pop out of there and hit you.
Yeah, I wish it did,
I
but
was
it
about to
did.
say, yeah.
But these always get replaced, even though it looks good. The additive destroyed it too. No matter how you look at it, that additive destroyed this every seal in this tranny. No matter how, they'll all have to be replaced. Oops.
Did
I'm
y'all see
sorry.
that? He threw it in the oil. Does it still work?
Yeah, it's getting there. I guarantee it will.
Oh, yeah.
They wouldn't build it if it didn't work in everything. Pump stator looks really good.
Nice.
Got a little bit of wear here though. Starting to see that right
yeah.
there. But we keep stators and stuff in here, so we just put a new stator in it and get it pressed in. So all originals, never been apart. Now this is a late model. It's got the cone style slide spring. Oh, I bet that seal's gonna be big. That thing already jumped. It almost.
Oh, that's triple size.
Let's stick that in there.
Yeah. How'd that go around it?
Look at that.
That's insane.
Look how big that thing is. But
I-
that was in that groove until I moved it and bang.
That's insane.
That just,
I don't see how.
yeah.
But it was. Wow.
See, this thing's getting some wear on it. Not much, but it's there. I just bought like 50 of these just to have them. You can see it right there. You can feel that lip right there. So always replace that. Put a new one in every one. Just make it a standard. If you ain't got your tranny apart, tear it apart before you order one of them. If you don't have it apart, order one anyway because you're going to need it. Of course, you got your spring. Don't want to leave that little thing out. And then our front seal. I mean, I want to knock it out, but it's got the original bushing. Never been messed with. I don't think, it almost don't look like original GM seal. This seal here looks like when they changed the motor, they pulled the torque converter out, put a new front seal in it, because this is not a GM seal. Right. This is like your aftermarket type seal. So I believe that's what they did. Put a motor in it, probably did a service on it, threw a little additive in it, and then made the biggest mistake of their life. So.
Mushed her all together.
Yeah.
Man, you're getting good at that.
I'm telling you.
Like we need to put a tape measure up there, see how high you
can get it. I'm curious to see if he run it out of oil and hurt it. I mean, the old band's starting to flake here. You can see here. Stuff, those tips are getting wore. You know, don't make a lot of power, but it's still going to get a wide band and a Z-pack in it no matter how you look at it. This thing will never come back. If it does, it'll just need a new motor. It won't need a tranny. Unless they put additive in it.
Yeah.
So could I reverse clutch. Now we're going to pull every seal out of this tranny so we can get an idea of what we got going on. This is your reverse clutch here. They'll always get this black wear right here because of the way this bevel is designed. It always starts pushing in the middle and then works its way out. So you'll always you'll see that. That's kind of almost a standard thing right there. Come over here really quick. I noticed somebody posted on the page that they made one of these for $6 or something instead of buying a really nice one. That's a pretty good deal.
Credit.
Yep, I've made a lot of tools before and used them. Actually, I've made a ton of tools before. Okay, this is tight. It will not move. And it is because the seal swelled up so big that when I take it out, it's going to physically just jump plumb off the piston. Now, okay. So we're going to put some air to this, and we're going to blow this thing out of here real quick. Okay.
I bet the piston blew. Oh, look at it.
Look at it. See what it's doing already?
Come on, focus. There we go. Yep. Wow.
It's trying to jump off there. All I gotta do is give it a little tug.
A little tuggy tug.
And watch this.
Boink. Oh my.
And then you'll never get that.
That's insane.
You won't even get it back in the.
Oh, you would never think it back. Yeah, you better cut a couple inches off of it.
That'd be funny, huh? And this one here is the same way. It just swells outward. You have to get it out of there.
You can't ever get it back in.
Yeah,
So
you want
big.
it. It'll be twice as big as the seal that goes in there.
Man.
So, the drum looks good. Just some staining. Looks really nice. Let's say you can come in here and do some checking on it just to verify that it's in good shape. Get you a flat edge. Come in here, wipe it off really good. You always want to check it in a couple places. You don't always want to just check it in one. And they come in and put that on there, and look at that. I mean, looks really good. See a little bit of light under there? Not bad. See, and it goes away.
Yeah, it goes away.
See, so
That's funny.
you kind of got to go around and see.
Check spots.
Looks really nice. So. Now the drum, everything on the side will be the same. You still got your 4 rings. Just a totally different input shaft. Look at that. If y'all have never seen one. Compared to... You know, you got multiples. I probably showed this before, but I like to kind of show it again. This is a pretty good showing of 4L60E shaft. Now they make a smaller one than this for the early model 700. And then, you know, you got this one, then they go to this one. And then this one here comes to live somewhere in here and here. And then we have our latest version with the reluctor wheel on the input shaft. But there you go. You see the difference in them right there. So.
We still need that one.
Yeah, we might take this in the park. Let's see what we got here. Now you can see here, before I pull the 3/4 clutch out, you can see the teeth already trying to strip on it right here. I don't remember how many mileage is on this vehicle. I'm sure it's pretty high.
Well, some of them teeth are almost all the way gone.
Yeah,
In there.
that's what I'm saying down in there. Let me get this out. It's got some good load springs in it still. I can feel them pushing up on the snap ring really hard, yeah. And you can see when I took it out, look how high the load spring lifted the plate.
Yeah, push down on it.
See?
Yep.
See how springy that is?
Yep.
That's what your load springs do, guys. They help hold that clutch off. People say it does this, does that, but believe me, I've learned a lot on this circuitry, on this 3/4 clutch system and the band stuff to know what I'm talking about when it comes to these load springs. So, standard clutch. Still got some pretty tall load springs in there. You always want to check them with a new one. I say if you got a 3/4 clutch failure, slips in 3rd gear or goes to neutral in 3rd gear, buy these with the kit because you're going to need them. Because it just melts them to the ground. Just weakens the spring. The body stays good, but the spring gets weak. And we don't even throw the bodies away because anytime we put a Sonex billet drum in these things, the Sonex kit only comes with longer springs, and the springs are about that long. But you have to use your standard retainer to put the long springs in, and then you put it down in the Sonex drum. So we don't ever throw them away. We keep everything. Because we know someday we're going to need it. I cleaned a trailer out one time, cost me $1 million. I should have never done it. And it was all old stuff, and I got rid of it because I was making room for the new, and then here we go, I need the old stuff. So never again will we ever throw anything away because you need it always. Look at these all here. No spline strippage, anything like that, just your standard wear. Don't look like they do any manual shifting. Clutch, that ain't clutch there, it looks almost new. And then you come over here, get all of our 3/4 clutch out here. Inspect these.
Thing must have been chugging bad or something. Why would it
Well, I don't know if this thing
thing?
is missing or, you know, you got to remember these trannies have clutch to band timing issues that beat these splines and do all kinds of stuff. So you can just see how the teeth are almost totally gone compared to this one here.
Oh yeah.
Look at that, isn't it crazy?
100%. Wow.
So now also I want to tell you guys too, if you can't buy a Z-pack clutch pack to put in your transmission, you're going to need this plate if you put an Alto 14 clutch kit in there. They do not come with everything in the kit. The Z-pack comes with everything. So if your 3/4 clutch pack is burned up, this plate is no good. It'll always be bent inward like this, and you cannot use it. So you always got to find a new one. So every one of these new ones we keep, we put them up, we don't use them. But if we cannot get a Z-pack, they run short and we can't get them for any reason, we have to go to the Alto clutch 14 clutch kit. You have to have a good backing plate. So remember that we keep all these, and that's why. So, but the Alto clutch pack is awesome. We use them. Whatever my tranny parts guy can get for me, he hunts me down. And I mean, he hunts me down every day. So he's a really good guy. He's been with me for as long as I can remember. So if I need something, he's going to find it.
See it in there?
Maybe. Now, I'm kind of curious to see if this has any type of roller bearing updates. Wow. GM. They put a roller bearing hub behind a little 2.8. There you go. It's behind their Cadillac Escalades too. So, but you always want to look here for wear. It never wears here where it used to wear all the time and stuff. So, let me see if I can find something. Get that out of there. I got a tip of the day coming that's going to be really good too. You can see here this is starting to strip. You can see the wear on these splines. We replace every one, but we noticed an issue going on when you update this hub here with a 5-pinion planet, and we noticed some sizes here, some bearing stuff that don't fit. Some locking on the planet that's not machined anymore to hold the bearing center. So we got some stuff. We're going to be coming up talking about that here on a tip and let you guys know a little bit about that you can get in trouble when you start changing parts and going to the 5-pinion planet and going to a roller bearing hub if you don't already have it. So that's going to be a good one when we start showing it. Just a standard shell, no hardened shell. Really don't see much wear on it or anything like that, but they do break here, so we're definitely going to get rid of it anyway, even though the splines ain't stripped, because they're bad about just breaking this whole piece off right down in here where they crack. So we'll get rid of that. Look at our sun gear. Like I say, this is a pretty small truck. Don't see really hard prints on the gears or anything like that from towing anything or being rough on it. So
So destructive.
yeah,
Just kidding.
I broke my good hammer. I'm gonna have to weld it back together because it's a really favorite hammer.
There is a opinion planet in the bottom of there.
Are you kidding me?
What?
Well,
Wow.
I think GM was excited when they come out with this truck.
Something.
They thought they were going to do something really great with it. They put a 5-pinion planet, and this tranny's never been apart. The only thing that's been put in this thing is the front seal. So got a really nice 5-pinion planet. check for any wear. Even though it's a nice planet, we're drooling over it. Check for any type of wear. Clean these up really good and check them again, because I showed you in my last video how we missed a spot on the ring gear where it had broken teeth, remember? So really want to look at this stuff good when we clean it up. Low reverse clutch still intact, not too bad. Got your lower sprag assembly. Any chattering on the race. Always Scotch-Brite this stuff up. Scotch-Brite is your friend. You go to these transmission seminars, they'll tell you that. Scotch-Brite is your friend. So, I'm excited. We figured out what's wrong with the crankshaft. We got the auto adapter coming, so we can get this thing bolted back up and get it back in for the gentleman. Won't have no issues anymore with it. So, if y'all need anything, come by and see us or holler at us, Precision Transmissions. Y'all have a great holiday. Have a good day.